Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the Why Project. Today we are interviewing Mr. Gazda. Hey, Mr. Gazda.
How you doing, Emily? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So let's just dive right in. The first question we have is, why did you become a teacher? Why do you come to work every morning? What motivates you?
Okay. This may take a while. You're welcome to cut in anytime, Emily. Uh, so when I grew up in a home that had an engineer for a dad and a teacher for a mom, and pretty wonderful. And I always thought it was pretty cool that my mom was a teacher. And I love school. School was really, really fun for me most of the time. So as I got through high school and stuff, I kind of considered going that route, but my parents thought that maybe I ought to consider something different. So they talked me into, I agreed to it for sure, but when I graduated from high school, I went into business. I was a business major. So I went up to Western, spent 5 years there. Yes, I was a super senior and dropped out one semester before I graduated because I knew I hated being in business, but I was trying for my parents. Worst conversation ever to have with your parent is to tell them you are dropping out your senior year after all that. But I knew it was the right thing to do. So what I did is I joined the Navy to get away and spend some time contemplating what I really wanted to do. After some time there, I worked in some hospitals, worked in their business offices and things like that. That definitely wasn't my thing. Liked a lot of the people I worked with, but didn't like what I was doing. So I eventually made it back to school, Western, and this time I decided one of the things that I had come to was I wanted to do what I wanted to do, regardless of what anyone else wanted me to do or what we thought I should do. So I went and became a history major because I love history. So I got my history degree and then realized that, one of the things I always loved was working with kids. I had coached and done numerous things. So I went into teaching, got my teaching certificate, and the rest, as they say, is kind of history. So that kind of got me to where I am today. In all reality and in all honesty, what gets me up every day, what I think I love about my profession, our profession, is the fact that I love working with people, and I love working with people who have similar goals and mindsets. And we have some of the greatest teachers and staff that, anyone could ever want. So
For sure.
I love coming to work for that reason. And the second thing is I love kids. And in particular, I love junior high kids. I think
You're a unique breed, Mr. Gazda.
Yeah, there's a saying, you either love them or hate them. And so sometimes I think I'm still a junior high kid. I think my wife would like me to be less of a junior high kid sometimes. I can adult when I have to, but I love junior high kids. And aside from those two things, honestly, the fact is our jobs every day is different. Every day there's things that are going on. Things are going on with the kids, things are going on in our classroom. We're constantly delivering new content and doing different kinds of activities. But I love the fact that every day we get to do something a little bit different, and we have control over a lot of that, what we can do. So that's really what has got me into where I am today. And 30 years later, I've been here at Mount Baker and I love it. I even, just so everyone knows, Emily was one of my students at one point.
Yeah.
In a sense, and she survived. But that's one of the beauties too of being somewhere for a long time. I mean, I love the connections that I have in the community. So
Yeah.
you're one of the best.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I definitely agree that our staff is just the best, and we just have this different type of relationship, I think, that many schools may not have, which is that closeness, and I love that about us. So yeah. I'm glad you noticed that too. So the second question is kind of a challenge or an encouragement. to our viewers, what could they do or what could you encourage them with today to help them get through, especially this challenging time right now?
Sure. It's been a challenge, I think, for all of us. This is definitely a unique situation. Unprecedented is the word I think we've all used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge first the teachers. Hey, get out of your comfort zone. Do something different. I did a little different shave today. And no one else is really going to see it. But I'm not really necessarily talking about that. I'm just talking about doing some, maybe risking trying something that you might fail at. I think many of us, I include myself in that, failure is something we really, it's a struggle. We want to always be seen as successful. And I guess I would challenge my colleagues to risk doing something. I told Emily before this began, I'm like really nervous. This is like one of the hardest things I could do. Get me in front of my junior high kids. I love it. Get me in front of other people. It's a little bit tough. So I would encourage all my staff members, do something a little bit different. For the kids, guys, I would recommend that you try to do something really creative, and not just creative for yourself, but be creative for somebody else. One of the things I'm trying to do for my wife is, I know this will surprise some of you, I tend to be a little disorganized and don't always have everything where it belongs. And so our garage is a mess. And instead of just kind of trying to clean it out, I'm going to actually try to build some organizational units, which is way out of my comfort zone because I am not somebody who is very handy, number one, and I'm not really sure how to go about it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to see what happens and just do something that I would never really do if I didn't have this kind of time. So I guess I would recommend that you guys try something. I had some list of things you guys can come up with your own, but I mean, I love artwork and I love when other people do artwork and give it to me. It's super special. If you come in my room, I can show you all the artwork that people have given me over the years. So, do some artwork. I'm not artsy. Well, do some artwork, try it. And there's a number of other things. I mean, I think of some of the more practical things around here. I wish when I was younger would have told me more about house maintenance and different things that you have to do. Maybe you could go around and try to figure out some of the maintenance things that you will have to do some point in your lives when you are homeowners. So whether that's keeping certain filters clean or keeping the windows clean or doing vacuuming or cleaning out whatever. I would suggest try some of those things. Be a little bit creative with what you got around you and see if you can learn a little bit more about some of those things.
Sweet. I want to go back to what you said about doing something that gets you out of your comfort zone. And I really try to teach my students that every time you go out of your comfort zone, you grow and you learn the most. And even though it's uncomfortable, you can look back and be so proud of yourself for what you've accomplished and how far you've come. And it's a really powerful thing. So thanks for sharing that. I'm excited. No. I'm trying to think about what I could do to get out of my comfort zone. Maybe I'll appear on a TikTok morning announcement or something. That would be a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Wow, that's really good. I've been challenged with that by some students at times, and I have absolutely refused time. I don't think I could go there, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything necessarily grandiose. I think, some of the smallest things are hardest for us to do, really.
Yep, for sure.
So yeah, you kids are way more creative, and I know you can come up with all kinds of things yourself, but consider doing something that maybe you could do for somebody else, but do it in a really creative way. And see how it goes. But that's what I would challenge you with at this point.
I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Mr. Gosta, and sharing your story. We are thankful that you're at Baker, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm sure you're very thankful I didn't sing. Mr. Lewis put way too high. My kids know that I would sing. Unfortunately, it'd be not what you guys would want to hear. But that being said, props to Mr. Lewis. Talent, man, dude is awesome. So I look forward to hearing from more of my colleagues, and I look forward to hearing from you, Emily, on how you would respond to some of these at some point.
Awesome. Yes, I will take you up on that challenge.
I love it. Thank you.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.